Welcome to 1 in Millions, the real UPSC model interview. കഴിഞ്ഞ UPSC മെയിൻ എക്സാമിന് ശേഷം ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിലേക്ക് 100-ൽ മുകളിൽ കുട്ടികളാണ് കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്നും സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഷോസ് യങ്സ്റ്റേഴ്സ് എത്രത്തോളം സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ UPSC എക്സാം അവരൊരു കരിയർ ഓപ്ഷൻ ആയിട്ട് കാണുന്നത് എന്നുള്ളത്. ആൻഡ് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എക്സാമിന് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്സ് 3 ഘട്ടങ്ങളിലൂടെയാണ് കടന്നു പോകുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ പ്രിലിംസ് എക്സാം, ദെൻ ദ മെയിൻസ് എക്സാം ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ദ ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ. ഇതിൽ പ്രിലിംസ് എക്സാമും മെയിൻസ് എക്സാമും കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ്സിൻ്റെ നോളജ് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. എന്നാൽ ദ ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂ ഇസ് ടു അസസ് ദെയർ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി. ഇന്നിവിടെ നടക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് UPSCയുടെ ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിൻ്റെ ഒരു മോഡൽ വേർഷനാണ്. ഒരു കാൻഡിഡേറ്റ് ആ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിന് എങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കണം, സംസാരിക്കണം, ബിഹേവ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നൊക്കെയാണ് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഇന്നിവിടെ നമ്മളെ സഹായിക്കുവാനായിട്ട് ഒരു പാനൽ ഓഫ് എമിനൻറ്റ് പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റീസ് എത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ പാനലിസ്റ്റുകൾ റിട്ടയർഡ് IAS KT Chacko, former Director General of Foreign Trade, Government of India, Dr. B. Ashok IAS, Secretary of Ayush Sports, Government of Kerala, A. Hemachandran IPS, Director General, Fire and Rescue Services, Dr. Gopalakrishnan, Professor of English, Chairman, Amrita Civil Service Academy. So, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, അങ്ങനെ ഇത് എത്രാമത്തെ അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ആണ്?
This is my third attempt.
Okay, അപ്പോൾ തേർഡ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഇനി ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിലേക്ക് കടക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. So, how do you feel now?
So happy, excited.
And എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു ഈ ഒരു UPSC ഒരു വഴിത്തിരിവ് എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു?
തേർഡ് ഇയറിലാണ് ശരിക്കും ഞാൻ സായിനാഥിൻ്റെ റൈറ്റിങ്സ് ഒത്തിരി വായിക്കുമായിരുന്നു. സോ അങ്ങനെ
സായിനാഥൻ്റെ റൈറ്റിങ്സ് ഒത്തിരി വായിക്കുന്ന ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ പേരെന്താണ്?
എൻ്റെ പേര് ശ്യാമ.
ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് can you just give a small introduction about yourself?
Okay, ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്തു നിന്നാണ് ഞാൻ പഠിച്ചത്. കോളേജ് ഓഫ് എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം, ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗിൽ BTech ചെയ്തു. അതിനുശേഷം സിവിൽ സർവീസിന് വേണ്ടി പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തു.
ഓക്കെ, സോ നമ്മൾ സായിനാഥൻ്റെ പുസ്തകങ്ങൾ വായിക്കുന്നതിനെ പറ്റിയായിരുന്നു പറഞ്ഞത്. ഓക്കെ, ഫൈൻ, കണ്ടിന്യൂ പ്ലീസ്.
അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ അത് വായിച്ച് ശരിക്കും റൂറൽ ഇന്ത്യയിലെ പ്രോബ്ലംസും അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചൊക്കെ അറിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും പബ്ലിക് സർവീസാണ് കരിയർ ഓപ്ഷനായിട്ട് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കേണ്ടതെന്ന് തോന്നി. അങ്ങനെയാണ് സിവിൽ സർവീസിലേക്ക് വരുന്നത്.
അപ്പം ഏത് മേഖലയിലോട്ടാണ് ഇപ്പം എടുക്കാനായിട്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്?
അഡ്മിനിസ്ട്രേറ്റീവ് സർവീസാണ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓപ്ഷൻ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്.
ഓക്കെ,
അപ്പം അത് തന്നെ കിട്ടണം എന്നാണ് ആഗ്രഹം.
ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു 10ൽ ഒരു ടെൻഷൻ റേറ്റിംഗ് സ്കെയിൽ നമ്മൾ വെക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ എത്രയായിരിക്കും ടെൻഷൻ?
ഒരു 6 ഉണ്ട്.
6 ഉണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, എന്താണെങ്കിലും കൂടുതൽ ടെൻഷൻ ഒന്നും അടിക്കേണ്ട. വളരെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ശരിയാണെങ്കിൽ വളരെ നന്നായിട്ട് അറിയാമല്ലോ അല്ലേ അവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന പാനൽസ് ആരൊക്കെയാണ് എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്നുള്ളത് നന്നായിട്ട് അറിയാം. സോ let it be a good opportunity. All the best.
Thank you so much, Adya. Good morning, sirs.
Good morning. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Shama.
Thank you, sir.
We find that you did mechanical engineering from Trivandrum Engineering College, industrial engineering.
Yes, sir.
Industrial engineering. And currently, are you doing anything?
No, sir. I am preparing for the
civil service. And you have chosen to offer Malayalam literature as your subject. And your hobbies is basically into reading and also nurturing
some movies.
And
movies.
Yeah, movies, and also you have had an interest in Nature Club. And
yes, sir.
What is your view on the rights of forest dwellers who are there for 50-60 years or even earlier versus the need to protect environment and ecologically sensitive areas?
Sir, I believe both can coexist because the forest dwellers have been have a greater role to play in the preservation of the ecology also. And so right now we have the Forest Rights Act, which gives certain rights to the forest dwellers to collect the minimum the forest produce and all. So and that has not resulted in the depletion of the forest as such. So I believe both can coexist.
No, I was asking a slightly different question.
Yes, sir.
I think minor forest produce collection by forest dependent people
Yes, sir.
is the stated policy of the
Yes, sir.
government and the forest and environment ministry. I was asking about dwelling in forest areas which are declared to be reserve forest and also notified national parks and sanctuaries, where from time, I won't say immemorial, but at least 50-60 years or earlier than that, pattas have been given for forest dwellers.
Yes, sir.
And there have been a movement that such patta holders should be given dwelling rights and whatever little agricultural land they have. And on the contrary, the environmentalists would say that since it is a core area, they should move out. So, on that was the question.
Yes, sir. In the core area, it's a ecologically sensitive area. So, as such, in core areas, we need more protection to the environment. So, that way we need to protect the environment, but in buffer areas, minimum activities can be allowed, but at the same time, the dwellers should be given rights. And that shouldn't hamper the environment. So, core area should be devoid of any kind of activities.
One of the senior level functionaries and political executive level, the union education minister, not so in the distant past, had made a public statement that higher education is the sick child of India. Any reason why he made that statement?
So, higher education in India is recent in the past, and if we analyze it, it's lacking due to the employability factor, because and also the quality of education. We don't have any institute in the top 100 institutes in international rankings and all. So, that way there is a problem. But at the same time, there are positive signs in terms of Indian Institute of Science having secured within 200 rank. So, there are positive signs as well as there are challenges in terms of employability.
Many educationalists would say employability is secondary.
Yes, sir.
An educated person should have an elevated mind, windows of mind should be open, he or she should be able to absorb. These are the fundamental values in education, one would say. And if that be so, do you think the course content curriculum of many of the universities in our country is updated periodically as it is desirable?
No, sir, the upgradation is not happening because also the employability is there, but at the same time the terms of the content of research is also, the quality of research is also not that optimum, because because maybe fund availability is the issue, but at the same time there is a brain drain happening in India. So, that also is adding to the education.
Would you be a votary to the fact that students who study especially at a inbuilt subsidy for IITs and various primary institutions of the country, there should be some sort of a restriction on their moving out of the country, or they should continue to serve the country living in India?
Sir, I think it's ultimately it should be an individual choice, but they have the option of coming back, because we are providing a lot of initiatives for them to actually start entrepreneurship, be it entrepreneurship program or the Startup India initiatives. So, there are a lot of opportunities coming up. So, we should encourage them to actually invest and start companies and utilize those effectively in India, but I think restriction would be counterproductive, because that would restrict the individual's choice. So, that I don't believe, but I think more and more innovative steps by the government is the right way to go about it.
And would you have some rough idea about the foreign exchange outgo on account of Indian students going abroad for study?
There is outflow is there, but at the same time we have investments coming in. So, I don't think it's a big issue, but yes, there is outflow.
If Indian students are going outside the country for education, higher education, what would be the logical way of keeping them in India for higher studies? What should be done by India?
Sir, as I said, I think more and more initiatives should be focused on research, providing adequate for us because we lack the industry and university linkage mostly, so the research is not related to the industrial development. So which is very vibrant in United States and developed countries. So that linkage should be strengthened so that more private investment comes into research and we have a very vibrant research environment.
Is it possible for a country like India to focus on higher education and take steps to create institutions of world class institutions of learning in India like China has done in the last 20, 25, 30 years?
I think yes, sir. We should focus on both higher education and the primary education simultaneously. And also there are proposals, but only in the pipeline, like inviting the foreign institutes, foreign universities to start campuses in India. So those initiatives should be explored, so that government funding is not the sole sole initiative. Other players, private players, should be encouraged to do.
What is your view on commercialization of higher education? Should it be all for non-profit or charity, or should it be also be set up by industrial houses for profit purposes?
Sir, industrial players would come only if there is a profit involved in it. So it should be a judicious mix of both, I would say, because the government should continue with the initiatives, but at the same time the commercial players should be encouraged to set up educational institutions in India.
Shyama, I find that you are interested in watching movies.
Yes, sir.
What kind of movies you watch?
Sir, I like to watch different languages, like movies in different languages. So there is no one particular genre as such.
Which is the film you last watched?
Last watch I watched Birdman.
Birdman.
Yes.
Okay. Recently the National Film Awards were declared.
Yes, sir.
I think you must be happy that Kerala got some awards.
Yes, sir.
Can you mention those?
Best Actress Award, Kerala won.
Who got it? The
Surabhi.
film?
Surabhi.
Surabhi, okay.
And that's for movie Minna Minninga. I haven't. It was not released, so I haven't seen the movie.
And then?
Got the movie name. Scriptwriter also got for Maheshinte Pratikaram's movie. So both these, Shyam, he won the award.
Shyam Pushkar.
And there is mention, yes, sir. And that's there's a special mention for actor Mohanlal.
What was the award for Mohanlal?
Special mention.
By the jury.
Yes, sir.
For which film?
For a number of movies, Puli Murugan, then Janata Garage, something.
There was some criticism about that. Did you notice that?
Yes, sir.
What was the criticism and what is your view on that?
Criticism is that the role in those movies were not that great that national award should be given, but I think it's an individual choice where the jury members have chosen that they consider that acting is as great, so they have given the award. But there are critics who say that there are certain other actors who have performed really well.
Have you seen any of those movies for which he got this reference?
Sir, I've seen Puli Murugan.
Pardon?
I'm Puli Murugan.
So how do you rate his acting on that?
Sir, he's one of the greatest actor India has ever seen. But in that particular movie, the character is not that meaty, so that he can do a lot of performance and all that. But there were stunts which he has done for himself. So those kind of things are there. But acting wise, it was not a very good
So
role.
you also feel that there is some merit in the criticism?
Sir, that's my personal opinion. Yes.
And who was the chairman of the jury?
Priyadarshan.
Okay. Have you come across any movies which highlight the plight of women, the rights of women and issues like that?
So, I saw Parched, which is a movie based on the lives of 4 women in Rajasthan. So there the different issues of violence against women and child marriage. So those kind of issues are touched upon, which is directed by Leena Yadav. So
Who is the director?
Leena Yadav.
Okay, okay. And I find that you are also interested in reading.
Yes, sir.
So what are the type of books you read?
Mostly short stories and some
Who
novels.
is your favorite author?
In recent, I think Unni R. Subhash Chandran. And
What is Subhash Chandran's most famous book?
Manushanu Ramugam.
You have read that?
Yes, sir.
What is it about?
It can be said as classified as a emotional history of Kerala. It pans around 3 generations. So that way it can be compared to the Gabriel Garcia Marquez 100 Years of Solitude.
What is the comparison?
The
You have read
comparison,
the 100 Years of Solitude.
sir, I haven't completed the book.
Then how do you compare? These two are Marcus deals with imaginary worlds.
Yes,
He
sir.
mixes reality
Magical
with
realism.
imagination. So has Subhash Chandran's work to do anything with that?
Yes, sir, but the magical realism as such is not used. But at the same time, he has covered 3 generations, and which is similar to Marquez, because in his although I haven't read it, I know about the book a little bit. So that as far as I know, 6 generations of a family is covered in Marquez book. In this book, 3 generations are covered. So that way, it is some people are relating it to that.
That way Khayyar deals with so many generations.
Yes, sir.
What about Unni?
Short stories, the Kali Nadagam and
Recently somebody made a film out of his, couple of films have come out.
yes, sir. Olivu Divasathe Kali. It's a short story by Unni R. It was made into a film. And then one more is there. I am unable to recollect it now.
Leela,
Leela, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
who made the film?
Sir, I don't remember now.
Okay. But that story deals with a very, very critical issue of
Yes, sir.
exploitation of women.
Yes, sir.
So that is made into a film.
Sir, now I remember
tell me.
Ranjit. It's
Ranjit, okay. Okay, let us forget about the
Okay.
world of films and the books and things like that. You studied in Government Engineering College
Yes, sir.
Trivandrum. That was the first engineering college established in Kerala. When was it established?
1939.
1939.
Yes, sir.
You are right. And how many engineering colleges are there now in Kerala?
Sir, I don't know the exact number, but more than
Approximate?
100, more than,
Hundreds, it runs into hundreds.
yes, sir.
And most of these colleges are in the government sector or
Private sector.
private sector? Self-financing colleges.
Yes, sir.
And your self-financing colleges are in the news for wrong reasons. Can you tell something about those issues?
Sir, in the private colleges, the students are not given enough avenues to actually air their views and air their complaints. The management is imposing a lot of, it has been in the news that management is often harassing the students, and that has led to the one of the suicide of person. So that the harassment is the problem. The problem is that there are no student union as such, where there is no student forum where the students can go, because the internal assessment is there with the management, so they utilize it for all the wrong reasons.
No,
So,
these things were there for the last several years.
yes, sir.
Why is it that now there are so many issues coming up in self-financing colleges? There must be some other issue, some other basic reason.
Sir, I think the issue has been existing for past several years, but the problem has come up to the public attention because of that, because of initially the law academy agitation, and also later on the Jishnu's a student named Jishnu's suicide. So that has then the students got the right, and the students got the free option to express their problems, and also the media was actively capturing those issues and presenting
No,
it.
that's okay, but these self-financing institutions,
Yes,
which
sir.
are in existence for nearly 20 years, but now how is the admission to these institutions now? Are they in great demand now?
Demand as in we have a culture of choosing engineering and medicine, so that has led to a lot of people choosing BTech.
That's okay,
without-
but what's the current situation? Now now are they getting enough students?
no, so many colleges are not,
Why is it
Getting.
so?
because the quality of education imparted to has decreased. So people are pursuing or are going to even Karnataka, where the self-financing colleges are there. So instead of choosing private college in Kerala. So that is
So
it.
in those states don't have problem of
Yes,
shortage
sir.
of students.
Yes, sir. All the states are facing the shortage.
Now why suddenly there is a lack of demand?
Suddenly, because initially these colleges were set up, people joined, and then only the ranking and the rating of these institutions came about. The AICC accreditation, many institutions lost
Okay, leave it at that. Where do these people from engineering colleges, where do they get generally employed? Most of them, where do they go?
software sector.
What is happening to that sector now? What is the employment potential now at this stage?
Sir, recently the H1B visa restrictions have been imposed. So, and recently there is news that Wipro is, the software companies are also cutting down on hiring, and so those things. So there are issues because our rupee is strengthening, so our exports in terms of service is also facing a little bit of challenge. And also mostly the engineering students from out of college have to be given again training, so that they are employable in the current situation.
Is it possible that that situation can have some relevance to what is happening in these colleges?
Yes, sir. The quality of education is going down, and also there is no proper internship program for the students, so that they have a direct interaction with the industry and the present changes that are happening in the technology field. So that is there, and also it's the software people are the software companies are hiring all the like irrespective of the branch they are hiring. So in suppose in mechanical engineering they don't have any sort of any knowledge whatsoever in terms of software.
Because your biggest employer was
IT.
IT only,
Yes, sir.
but now the situation there is very, very grim.
Yes, sir.
You are aware of a McKinsey report on the IT area in India. That is the situation. What is going to happen in the employment potential there?
Sir, I'm
There
not-
are some studies on that. The picture is very, very grim, and that is also getting reflected
yes, sir.
in all these things. Okay, forget about all those things. One last question concerning judiciary.
Yes, sir.
There is a perception that under the guise of judicial activism, you are aware of judicial activism.
Yes, sir.
Under the cover of that, there is an attempt for judicial overreach.
Yes, sir.
That is areas reserved for executive, top and administration. That is also being encroached into by the judiciary. What is your take on that?
So judicial activism and judicial overreach are both according to me, is almost a similar term, because in both cases, but the one difference is that judicial activism exists when the legislative and executive is not performing their functions properly. But judicial overreach is where even in the recent case of the liquor, the sale in highways and all, these are polycentric issues, and government and executive are the best to actually come out with rules in those cases. The court's mandate is not to venture into solving the issues, rather than it basically gives judgments, and not it should not venture into giving legislative or guidelines as such.
Okay.
On what constitutional article does the Supreme Court pass a judgment as banning liquor vending outlets, which you mentioned in the last answer?
Article 142.
What does 142 say?
It gives a power to Supreme Court to take up any issue in the country and give out, which is applicable to the entire country, and give out a judgment. based on it.
Essentially, the judgment of a Supreme Court is
Okay,
law.
yes.
You know, it's law in that you can say it's a judge enunciated law, but it's also restricted. You cannot encroach upon the Parliament's powers. Now, what article did the Supreme Court hinge its judgment? For instance, in this removing the liquor vending outlets, it cited one article as the basis of its judgment.
The road accidents have been.
That is there, road accidents are there, but they said the increased road accidents due to drunken driving is violative of which article?
Article 21.
21. Okay.
Right to life.
Very good. Okay, my question is not on that. You are an industrial engineer, and today's newspapers have reported that an Indian automobile company has ventured out to South America and entered into a collaboration with a South American company and is launching the products there. Which is that company? Did you follow that story?
Sir, I just came through the paper. I have scanned
No,
through the
you
paper.
did not read the business page.
No, sir.
You've heard of this company called Eicher Motors, manufacturers of trucks, and Royal Enfield.
No, sir, I am not aware.
They are opening shop in Sao Paulo, which
Thank
is
you,
very South America has very few. Have you heard of the Royal Enfield?
Yes, sir. Royal bike.
Can you tell me something about that particular motor vehicle?
Sir,
Being
I
an
am not
industrial
a.
engineer, you're not an auto
I
enthusiast.
don't know. I am not a motor
Is it a
enthusiast.
boys' thing still in engineering? The bikes. Okay, forget about it.
Sir, I know the basics, but I don't.
No. You're not. You can't say 2 or 3 points about this company called Royal Enfield. So
No,
at
sir.
least which country does that brand belong to? Is it an Indian brand or did it come from abroad?
Sir, I don't. I
Okay,
don't
forget
know.
about it. You tell me 3 global companies which Indians have launched. Any 3, and one sentence each about them. Global brands which are listed in, let us say, New York Stock Exchange, Nasdaq, all those, traded across the world. Shares, I mean, or products are sold across the world. Indian MNCs.
Okay. Tata is.
Tata's, yes, in steel, also automobiles.
Yes, sir.
Which is the
Then-
brand which Tata acquired in UK? A particular automobile brand Tata has brought over.
Sir, I am unable to recollect it now.
Land Rover?
Ah,
You're not
yes, sir.
Jaguar Land Rover?
Jaguar,
is a-
Jaguar.
Okay. Any other?
Um,
In steel itself, there is
Steel
another
itself,
big
yes,
name.
sir.
Acquisitions in France, which ran into major international controversy.
Sir.
You heard of Mittels?
Yes, sir. Mittal.
Which company
Mittal
did Mittal buy in France?
Sir, company name I don't know.
You are an industrial engineer.
Yes,
That is my interest. That's why I'm pushing that. Had I been an industrial, I would have gone into it because steel manufacturing. Arcelor, I thought he
Arcelor.
brought over. Okay, forget steel. Any other sector? Tata's and steel. IT.
Um,
Obviously, you can name a international major, 2 or 3 big ones.
Infosys,
Okay.
that Tata Consultancy
TCS,
Services
of course,
also
is
there.
big.
Wipro,
Wipro is also major ones. Any other sector? Can you name an international Indian company with global recall?
Steel also there are many, but I am unable to recollect it.
No,
now.
obviously L&T has presence. There are many others. Okay, what do you think a state like Kerala should do to improve its entrepreneurship amongst engineering graduates or general graduates?
The incubation cell should start from the campus, the colleges itself. I think now we have sort of there are incubation cells in different engineering colleges, but it's not uniform. So at least we need to make sure that one region has at least one incubation cell, and the ideas are appreciated and pursued at the same time. And
We heard about a startup village. What is the startup village project in Kerala?
the government provides basic infrastructure to start a new initiative inside Kerala. And for first 3 years there will be tax holidays and incentives
That's a central
given
policy.
to.
That's a central policy.
Yes, sir,
State
central
has,
policy.
tax benefits
Yes, sir.
and grooming and
Yes, sir.
opportunity
And
to.
also computers and infrastructure required.
What is
also.
venture capital financing with respect to a startup, and how is it important?
It's important because only the students passing out of college need the finance to actually set up the entire idea. So we have a lot of initiatives, like the private sector is also actively involving. Many important CEOs of different companies are also CEOs, all different companies are also investing in these as
You should
angel
check up, because
investors.
venture capital is innovative, a mode of financing which
Yes, sir.
focuses on startups which have a potential to
Yes, sir.
sort of become big and
Yes, sir.
therefore yield higher returns up there.
Yes,
What's angel financing? Again, in context of startup, angel financing.
Um,
I have not
angel-
come across the term. That is more to do with non-profit oriented supportive financing coming from highly established. Can you name a major startup company which has become big from Kerala? Significant.
MobMe as
MobMe, yes. Any other company?
No, I don't.
Have you heard of an establishment called Jackfruit 360?
No, sir, no.
You're not keenly watching corporate developments.
No.
Would you? I saw that you are choosing Jharkhand.
Yes, sir.
Would you view that developing entrepreneurship is a major tool to develop that particular state?
Yes, sir. In every state it's required, and also in particularly Jharkhand there are a lot of rural areas and urban areas. In rural areas also the initiatives that are conducive for the rural India, like food processing. So those kind of sectors can be identified, and startups can be initiated in those areas. And in urban areas also there are institutes of excellence like the IITs and NITs in there also. So yes.
Thank you.
Just a second.
Yeah, in North India, marriages are huge events, very big events. But in Kerala, they have always been very personal events. But now, event management has crept into marriages in Kerala also. Now, do you think that event managers are really needed for a marriage in Kerala? Or is it an event to be managed?
Sir, I think there is a huge inflow of NRI funds in NRI money in Kerala, and people are getting richer. So, these kind of extravagances are something which people look forward to, and people are opting that.
No, if the rich people look forward to such things, it is okay.
Yes, sir.
But if others also want to keep up with the Joneses, what would you do?
Sir, I think we should actively promote the marriages which are traditional in Kerala, which are very simple, and lot of officers and people of public importance, like the actresses, are also promoting those things, like adopting simple marriages. So those kind of initiatives should be there, and those who have money should definitely go with that, because that creates a lot of employment opportunities, because these event management companies
fine.
hire a lot of people.
You have taken up Malayalam literature as your optional. And recently I made a startling discovery that almost all translators, say from Spanish into English, from Portuguese into English, from Italian to English, major translators are all women.
Okay.
Even our own Airachar by Meera was translated by Devika into English. Now, why is it that women are better translators? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I am asking you. What could be the reason for that?
I think women can sense the emotional and the connection between the words and what it actually means, rather than going for the
Men
word
are not
meanings.
capable of doing it.
Sir, because you said women are increasingly coming up and also being successful in translation,
Okay.
so that may be the one reason. And also,
Have you read the English translation by Devika?
no sir,
No,
I
you haven't. Have you read Airachar?
Yes sir, I
Now, what do you think about that book?
I think it's a feminist point of view, as in she is the only member of that community, hangman community, who has come up against all odds, because there were problems in personal life, so she has overcome that, and so the patriarchal setup, and also that she has
Okay. Now,
successfully.
Meera herself has confessed in an interview that although women are becoming good writers increasingly, the publication field is still with the men. Do you think it is a correct statement, or do you think women have come into publishing as well?
Publishing houses, I think, mostly are owned by or governed by men.
Okay.
But at the same time, she's an example of a person who has a talent, and then she has come up. So initially she used to write in Madhrubhumi and all those magazines, and then got noticed, and then she wrote a lot of short stories, and so at that process the women have to go through. Mostly what the problem is that they stop writing after some time, or mostly they don't pursue it as a.
Recently there was a photograph in the newspapers of women starting a website, but the whole thing, they showed a man also sitting near the computer who was enabling the site to be on.
Yes sir.
So it was a site for women, but there was a man operating the system.
Yes sir.
Okay. Have you noticed it?
Yes sir, I have seen that picture.
Thank you.
Shama, you have also ranked foreign service somewhere quite up
Yes,
in
sir.
your preferences.
Yes sir.
And what, in your view, are the renewed challenges for India's foreign policy in its immediate neighborhood?
The increasing the relationship between Pakistan and China, that is posing a huge challenge for us. With the China-Pakistan economic corridor going to be a reality, so that way is a strategic challenge is there. Then the Nepal issue, the Madhesi agitation is again going to come up, because the constitutional demands were not met. So that issue is there, which may lead to may escalate and cause problems with the Madheshi blockade, as we seen in the past year. Then in the Indian Ocean region also we have challenges, because China is setting up again what we call the string of pearls theory, with ports setting up in Bangladesh and all. And also in Bangladesh we have the illegal migration issue, and the Rohingya Muslims from, so those kind of issues are there, illegal migration. And Bangladesh is also, there are a lot of terrorist groups operating from Bangladesh, which again is a threat to India's security.
Or well, some of these things have been there earlier, like the Pakistan issue, and of course the new development is about the China-Pak linkage
Yes,
getting stronger. But are you observing a change of mind in terms of our immediate neighbors to be more accommodative of Chinese interests?
Yes, sir.
And is it a matter of concern for our policy?
Yes, sir. In Nepal and Nepal also, Nepal, in Sri Lanka, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, the Chinese investment is huge, and China has the capability to invest more in these areas compared to India. So, and these countries want they sort of are aiming at balancing both India and China to actually utilize both the powers to their advantage. So that is a challenge, but I think we have maintained friendly relationship with these countries. In Bangladesh also we are giving loans, and 5 billion is recently granted. So those are not unlike China, we are giving loans without any sort of projects in hand. So they are given the freedom to design the project. But Chinese projects are always linked to what China's interest, unlike us. So those things are favorable for us because we have a better reputation in terms of project, but at the same time we are lagging in terms of project implementation. So that and the promises that we make, often the time taken is increasing, so that we need to reduce. So
Okay,
that's it.
thank you, Shama, thanks for coming.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
സോ ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ റിവ്യൂവിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള കാത്തിരിപ്പാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി കുറച്ച് നിമിഷത്തിനുള്ളിൽ അല്ലേ ആ ഒരു ജഡ്ജ്മെൻറ്റ് നമുക്ക് അറിയാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കും. സോ ഒരു സാറ്റിസ്ഫാക്ഷൻ സ്കെയിലിൽ 10ൽ നമ്മൾ റേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഹൗ ഡു യു ഫീൽ?
എബോവ് ആവറേജ് എന്നൊരു ഫീലിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്. 6-7 ഒക്കെ കൊടുക്കാം.
അപ്പോൾ എന്താണെങ്കിലും നല്ല റിവ്യൂസ് ആയിരിക്കട്ടെ. ഓൾ ദി ബെസ്റ്റ്.
We are sharing some of our thoughts with you purely from the point of view of guiding you to face the actual interview, and on the whole we have been quite pleased to award you 70%, which we know that is a good percentage, but that also should be taken with an understanding that this is to motivate you also, so that you keep on trying to improve better. And some of the issues or matters which we have observed is that you are quite spontaneous in your expressions, and both the facial expressions and expressions through words, you are quite spontaneous. There is no artificiality which we have noticed, because sometimes when you over prepare for an interview, you are told to keep hands like this and express, and that sort of a robotic response was not there, which we appreciate. We also found that you have been frank enough to say if you don't know something, that you haven't been able to get your hands on that. But in an interview, while one should be frank enough to say that I don't know, but too much frequency of I don't know also is not. So you will have to veer around that in a way which doesn't give out the depth of ignorance if it is there. You have been since you are fundamentally a student of engineering, a little more understanding of current events in the field of manufacturing sector or industrial sector can be in order. It may or may not be asked, but your IAS preparation subject is not what you are is what you studied basically, so that can always be a candidate for being asked questions on that.
You come out as a very genuine person, so you are doing extremely well. You are doing extremely well, and maybe as sir said on current affairs in industry related matters like Tata's dispute, Cyrus Pistry versus this live issues, it doesn't take much effort. You can be a little familiar. And on women issues you are addressing it well. You can be a little more deep. You can pay a little more attention, but otherwise you are doing extremely well. Your biggest strength is you come out as a very genuine person, trying to talk in a very natural, spontaneous way. So that will help you in a big way.
Okay.
As such, there is no issue, but if you can brush up the industry and economy industry pages of major papers, or read the Hindu's industry special issue, may be helpful to you.
Thank you, sir.
Always remember local, national, international, professional. Okay, get updated on these 4 things. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir.
All the best.
യെസ്, അങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിൻ്റെ റിസൾട്ടൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പം എങ്ങനെയുണ്ട് റിസൾട്ട്?
They gave me 70% മാർക്ക് തന്നു അവർ, ആൻഡ് വെരി എൻകറേജിങ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പം ഇനി എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് പഠിക്കേണ്ടത്, എന്തൊക്കെയാണ് ഇമ്പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റി. അപ്പം ഓവറോൾ ഇറ്റ് വാസ് വെരി ഹെൽപ്ഫുൾ.
സോ ഇപ്പം എന്താണ് ഷാമയുടെ സ്ട്രെങ്ത് ആയിട്ട് തോന്നുന്നത്?
സ്ട്രെങ്ത് ആൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ, ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ഞാനൊരു ജെനുവിൻ പേഴ്സണായിട്ട് കം അക്രോസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നാണ് അവർ പറഞ്ഞത്. സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് അതൊരു പോസിറ്റീവായിട്ട് തോന്നി. പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു കറണ്ട് അഫയേഴ്സിൽ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ ഗ്രിപ്പ് വേണം എന്ന്. അങ്ങനെ
ഐ തിങ്ക് ഒരുപക്ഷെ ജെനുവിനിറ്റിയാണ് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിൽ നോക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം, ആൻഡ് ഓൾറെഡി അതുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞു. ആൻഡ് സോ ഇനിയുള്ള റിയൽ ഫൈനൽ ഇൻ്റർവ്യൂവിന് ഓൾ ദി ബെസ്റ്റ്.